What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage. If you've been following along with my adventures, you know that I just got done rebuilding this motorcycle. I finally got my class taken care of and I'm licensed and insured and everything, so I've been cruising around with it. The problem is, everywhere I go, I have to know where I'm going because motorcycles don't have GPS. But we're going to change that today. I picked up one of these screens. I'm sure you've seen them advertised on social media and Amazon and everything. It's a little screen that basically emulates your phone screen. It's got Android Auto, it's got Apple Carplay, and it will show you your GPS, show you your calls and everything right on the bike. And now with this being a 2005 year bike, that stuff didn't exist back then. So we're going to upgrade the bike, we're going to add the technology and make our cruises a lot more enjoyable and a lot safer because I don't have to worry about trying to look at my phone while I'm trying to drive. It's going to be a win-win. So let's check it out. All right, so the one I picked up specifically is the YZW brand, and they're all basically the same thing. Some have more features than others. Some of them even will track your tire pressures and things like that. But I didn't need to go all out hundreds of dollars. This one's about a $50 unit, kind of mid-priced. The reason I picked this one specifically, this is the 6-inch model. They go from 5, 6, 7, 8. Some of them are widescreen, some of them are more rectangle. I went with this one specifically because it advertises a very bright screen. And I don't remember the numbers. I'll look it up, and put it in the description. But it advertises the brightness of the screen to be very bright, which I think is going to be really good for these hot Texas days with the bright sunlight down here and being able to see your GPS and everything while you're driving. So let's do an unbox real quick. Let's see what's in it. And then we'll get started getting it installed. All right, let's see what's going on here. So I've already opened it up and looked around, but this is pretty much what you're going to get when you buy one. The screen itself is pretty basic. Got a nice little sun visor on the top there. This one specifically is removable with a magnet mount, which I like because some of them are hard mounted and it's going to be a lot easier to get. If you park in a parking lot, you're going out to dinner or something like that, and you don't want to leave this, you can pop it off. You can throw it in your saddlebag. You can throw it in your jacket pocket. And it makes it a lot harder to steal when it's not there. And it's got a quick connect, a little screw-on wire here. But that's pretty much the screen. Not a whole lot to it. Let's see what else is in the box. So we got the mount. So it's a mount for the handlebar. It's anything round, really. Uses a ball on this end, a clamp, and then this goes on the back of the screen with another ball, so it's very adjustable, and I'm hoping to get it in the spot I want to get it in, and we'll look at that in just a minute. But it needs to be up where I can see it, but not blocking any part of the road or my vision. So it's going to be critical to get it in the right spot for safety and also be able to use it. It also comes with a fairly long power cord here. It's just power and ground, and that's it. I'm not sure where I'm going to pull power yet, probably from the headlight assembly because it's keyed on. A lot of people will wire this directly to the battery, but then you have to be sure to power the thing off or you run your battery down. I would prefer not to have to deal with that. So I'm going to try to wire it to switched power to mitigate that and make sure that it's not a problem in the future. It also comes with a little roll of electrical tape and some zip ties. So pretty thorough packaging. Comes with pretty much everything you need except for the tools to strip the wires. If you want T connectors or butt connectors or something like that, that's pretty much all it doesn't come with. So looks like a pretty good package. So let's get this mount opened up. Let's get it put together and let's see where we can get it on the handlebars. So this bike specifically has your speedo and your tach here, but it also has down under here some indicator lights for your turn signals, low on gas, high beams, if you're in neutral, things like that. And I don't want to cover either one of those. So the standard location of putting it dead center is just not going to work. So I'm going to try my best to kind of stuff it down in this area over here. I don't want it too high, blocking the road. So right in that area is going to be where I'm trying to shoot for it. We'll see if that mount, it may have to be a little more forward. We'll see if that mount will work. I can't put it any lower because it'll interact with the handlebars in the tank and cause me to not be able to turn. So that's kind of where I'm going to shoot for it. So I'm going to put the mount together and we'll see if we can get it to go where I want it to go. Got the mount all put together here. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a U-bolt that goes around your handlebars, and then the two ball sockets go into that cross piece. And from what it looks like, it's going to work. I've got a wire that's mounted to the handlebar back here. You can't really see, but that's as far as this will go. But once I get everything tightened up, I can kind of put it about right there. And that looks pretty much where I want it to be. I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything up so I can actually sit on the bike and get a good look at it. And then we'll go from there. We may have to do some adjustments, but for now it's looking promising. Keeping it out of the way, keeping it down low, still being visible, but not being in the way. So let me grab a wrench, let's snug it up, and then we'll get a look at it from the point of view of sitting on the bike. All right, got everything tightened up. This is pretty much sitting on the bike. I think that's going to work. I mean, it's pointed straight at my face. It's not blocking the speedo. It's not blocking the tack. It's not blocking the gauges. All of this stuff works. It's not interfering with my hand. A lot of the reviews said this mount's ugly, and it is, but I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? But sitting on the bike, this is what you see. I think that's going to be a great spot for it. Down low enough to not block anything coming forward. I think I like it. So I'm going to snug it up, and I'm going to run a temporary power to get it powered up. See how it looks, make sure there's no issues with that before we try to run these wires and figure out where we can get switch power. Ran some quick and dirty power, just pulled the battery cover off, ran the wires directly to the battery for now just to get it fired up. It's looking pretty good. You got your power, and if this will power off, but how do you turn it on? I need to read some instructions. If that will truly power it down, I don't think it will though, because it's waiting on me to just touch the screen to wake it back up. So I do not want it running my battery dead. I doubt it takes much power in that standby mode. So it may not even be a problem, but I would prefer it to be switched so that I know it's off whenever I turn the key off. But it's there. Let me slide up here and right the bike and we'll see what it looks like. All right, basically from my point of view, I like it. I think it's a good spot. This one does have the ability to track your tire pressures. It did not come with the tire pressure sensors. I guess they're kind of universal, so you can just buy some. I'm not worried about it. Plus, I got cool little dice valve stem caps, and I would have to take those off. So I'm not going to do that. But I like it. Now I got to figure out where to get power from and get my phone synced, and then we'll review it. All right, we got the phone connected. Got the map showing up. I played with the settings a little bit, set it to night mode all the time because I prefer that. Kind of went through and looked around. It's pretty powerful. You can do your music on there. You can have phone calls. It's got settings for different things like turning the music on automatically when you start the device. So far, I think it's going to be great. I don't like the fact that even though it's this big, it's not filling in the entire screen. That's kind of odd. Like the resolution isn't right, but I think on the reviews or on the pictures on the ad on Amazon, it looked like that. So it's kind of bumped. You're paying for a 6-inch screen and only using 5 inches of it. But anyway, it's mounted. I'm going to try to find some power, and then we will check it out once it's keyed, see how fast it connects to the phone, things like that. So progress. All right, so there was a cover, like a screen protector on there I peeled off that makes the screen look a lot better. But I've decided I'm going to wait wiring it up because I want to make sure it is where I want it to be before I cut the wire shorter to wire it in. I don't want to cut the wire too short and then have to move it. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I just hooked a little wire up in the back to keep it from blowing around. And I'm going to take the bike for a ride sometime in the next couple of days. And then make sure I like where it is, make sure it's not in the way, make sure it's not interfering, make sure everything is good, it's stable, it's not going to shake around before I wire it in. So for you guys, it'll be just a second, but I'll pick it back up then. So see you guys in a little bit. All right, back working on this bike. I pulled the fuse box out and had a look at it. I had thought about using like an add-a-fuse, but there's no space from the lid of the box to the top of the fuses to fit an add-a-fuse in the fuse box. So scrap that idea. Open up the headlight. I really didn't want to cut into the harnesses. I didn't want to do anything to damage the factory wiring. But I found these two little connectors right here. One is yellow with a green line and one is black. And I use my little voltage tester here. And they're keyed power, which is perfect. I think I'm going to test fit, but I think I can just push a spade connector in there. I think. And if that's the case, that's perfect. I don't have to cut anything. It's easily reversible. And it's keyed. So I'm going to test it. I'm going to grab a spade connector, see if it'll slide in there. And if so, that's going to be our plan. And I really like that idea because, again, I don't have to cut any of the factory wiring. I don't have to worry about the T-taps cutting the wire too much or anything like that. So let's check it out and see if it works. All right, found some spades. This is the smallest wire size ones I have. And slides right in there. It's secure, it's hard to pull out. That is absolutely perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the wire down for the screen, wire it along the handlebars underneath to the headlight, put these ends on there, and we'll be done. Simple, easy. I like it a lot. So let's get that done. Went ahead and did a loop wire up here to give it a little bit of slack and easier access to the connector there if I ever want to remove it. Zip tied it to the back of the handlebar there and then down. Then it runs underneath into the headlight right here. Got two spade connectors on the end. Got it plugged in there. So now, I did everything correctly. I should be able to turn the key and the headlights turn on and the screen turn on. There we go. Perfect. Ha! That was way easier than I thought. I did not want to have to cut into the factory wiring. Cool. Well, guys, we made a little boo-boo, I think. I haven't tested it yet, but I think. So I was bored today and went ahead and pulled up the wire schematic. Let me get some lights on in here. To look and see what that green and yellow, it's yellow with a green stripe wire is. And it looks like, although it wasn't connected to anything, is designed for the low beam in the headlight. I guess if maybe you have two headlights, I don't understand because there's a low beam in there and it's connected. And the schematic is iffy. The drawing in the service manual has the yellow-green wire as the center source wire in this switch. And that switches from either green or yellow. I can put up a shot of the schematic here so you can see what I'm talking about. But so it's got me confused because it shows yellow-green going to the low beam for the hot side, but it also shows yellow-green as the center source wire for this one. And green going out to the high beams and yellow going to an accessory that has no output from there. I don't know what that's for. So I'm going to try it out here. I'm going to turn the key on. We're going to let the screen boot up. I have a feeling that when I flip this switch to turn on the high beams, the screen's going to shut off. And if so, that's going to be unfortunate because I'm going to go back to the drawing board on where I'm going to get power. There has to be some other output somewhere for accessories. The wiring schematic shows the accessories straight off the key and accessory options straight off the key. So let's see what happens. It stayed on. Wow. That's, well, I'm excited. Let's see if it does it with the bump. The headlight bump for like passing. Yeah, stays on. So let's look. If I turn that on, yeah, it's just the one. I don't know how well you can see that because it's really bright. But if I turn it off, see if I can get you guys the view. See, it switches to the top one. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's working the way it should. You would expect a motorcycle to have just one light on at a time, either the high beam or the low beam. But I seriously expected this screen to shut off when I turned it on. As you can see from the switch or from the schematic I put up earlier, it looks like it should, but it didn't. So I'm really happy about that. Because there's no battery in this at all. It's 100% powered by the bike. I guess I'll run through all the stuff and make sure that nothing shuts it off. Yeah, it stayed on the whole time. So that's a relief. I really didn't want to go in and redo that. I really didn't. So I'm happy that it stayed on. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm happy that the wiring worked out the way I wanted it to. It was a lot easier than I expected starting this project, and that's a great thing. We didn't have to dig into the wires. We didn't have to cut into the factory harness. We didn't have to damage anything that's not reversible. So I'm really, really excited about that. As always, thank you guys for hanging out with me here in the garage. It's really a pleasure to have the company. If you like this content with the motorcycle, the OBS, or whatever else I come across, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you get notifications whenever I post new videos, and you can follow along on my antics and see what shows up here next. But for now, we're going to finish this one off. You guys have a good one and rock on.